The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Anna Chen walked toward the exit, her boots echoing against the crystalline floor. Behind her, 300 alien delegates representing 67 civilizations watched in stunned disbelief. The human delegation was leaving. "Ambassador Chen, please reconsider," pleaded Councillor Vexithari, his 4 eyes blinking rapidly in distress. The insectoid diplomat had never imagined this moment would arrive. "We can negotiate further terms." Anna stopped but didn't turn around. Her voice carried across the vast chamber with cold finality. "Negotiate? For 3 cycles we've brought solutions. For 3 cycles you've dismissed them as primitive human sentiment. You wanted us gone from these talks. Congratulations, you have your wish." Beside Vexthari, Kanat stood frozen. The young Etherean scholar had spent years studying humanity, fascinated by their paradoxical nature. His luminescent skin dimmed with concern. Unlike his fellow delegates, Kanat understood what this moment meant. He had warned them, but nobody listened. The troubles began 6 months earlier when the Void Plague emerged from dark space, consuming resources and destabilizing star systems. Panic spread through the galaxy as advanced civilizations found their technology useless against the anomaly. The Zenthri Empire lost 12 colonies. The Morphid Collective watched helplessly as 3 of their hive worlds went dark. Then humanity proposed a solution during the emergency session. Anna had presented their plan with typical human directness. A network of quantum barriers powered by a dangerous but effective energy matrix. The technology was crude by galactic standards, relying on nuclear fusion and electromagnetic pulses rather than elegant antimatter or zero-point energy. "Barbaric," the Zenthri ambassador had declared. "We will not risk our systems with such primitive methods." "Too dangerous," agreed the Morphid Queen speaker. "Humans always choose violence as their first option. Even Kanat's own people, the Etherians, considered the galaxy's philosophical heart, rejected the proposal." Perhaps, his mentor had suggested, humanity should observe rather than participate. Learn from civilizations with actual experience. That stung Anna deeply, Kanat knew. Humanity had joined the Galactic Council only 40 years ago, still considered newcomers despite their rapid advancement. They were tolerated, patronized, but never truly respected. Month after month, the Void Plague expanded. Advanced civilizations threw their best science at the problem. The Zenthri deployed their reality phase technology. The collective attempted to absorb and understand the plague through biological integration. The Etherians meditated, seeking cosmic harmony with the anomaly. Nothing worked. Meanwhile, Earth and her colonies implemented their own defense network without council approval. The human territories became islands of stability while the galaxy burned. Refugee ships began arriving at human borders by the thousands, and humanity let them in. Against council protocols, humans opened their stations and planets to displaced populations. They shared food, medical care, and shelter. Anna's government faced criticism from the council for this unilateral action, but she noticed something the other delegates missed. The refugees weren't just grateful. They were amazed. "Humans fed us before asking our species," one Morphid child told Kanat during his research visit to New Geneva Station. "Nobody ever does that." The council's attitude shifted from dismissive to demanding. Now they wanted humanity's defensive technology, but on their terms. They wanted the protection without acknowledging the source. They wanted Anna's people to hand over their research, integrate it into proper systems under council oversight, and continue being junior members with no real voice. "This is your duty to the galaxy," Vexithari had proclaimed just minutes before Anna's departure. Civilized species sacrifice for the greater good. That's when Anna stood up, gathered her delegation, and walked out. Now, as the human ambassador reached the chamber doors, Kanat made his decision. His people would disapprove. His career would suffer. But his years studying humanity taught him something the council refused to learn. Humans possessed a dangerous trait when disrespected. They remembered. "Ambassador Chen, wait." Kanat called out, his voice cutting through the shocked murmurs. He descended from the council platform, his robes flowing behind him. "I'm coming with you." Vexthari's antennae trembled with rage. "Scholar Kanat, you cannot." "I can and I will." Kanat reached Anna's side, meeting her surprised expression. "You were right, Ambassador. About everything. I've seen your colonies, studied your history. I know what happens when humanity is pushed aside. Anna's expression softened slightly. And what happens, scholar? You survive. You thrive, and you remember who stood with you and who didn't. Kanat looked back at the council. The Etherians have a saying, wisdom recognizes truth even when pride rejects it. I recognize the truth here. As they exited together, alarms began blaring. The void plague had breached the inner systems. The council's core worlds had hours, perhaps days. Within those hours, everything changed. 3 human dreadnoughts appeared at Council Space's edge, their quantum barrier generators already active. Anna's message was simple. To any ship seeking sanctuary, human territories are open. We protect everyone who enters. No conditions. No politics. The exodus began immediately. Not just refugees now, but entire planetary governments. They fled to human space while the Council scrambled for solutions they'd refused months ago. Kanat watched from the human flagship's observation deck as civilization's map rewrote itself. The galaxy was learning a hard lesson. Humanity didn't need the Council's approval to act. They never had. Do you think they'll finally understand? He asked Anna quietly. She gazed at the streams of ships flowing toward human protection, her expression unreadable. Understanding comes with consequences, Kanat. They wanted us withdrawn from negotiations. Now they'll learn what the galaxy looks like without human participation. And when they apologize, ask you to return? Anna smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. Then we'll negotiate. On our terms. As equals. The void plague raged on, but within human territory the barriers held. And the galaxy learned an important truth. Humanity didn't need permission to be remarkable. They just needed to be left alone to do what they did best. Survive, adapt, and protect those who couldn't protect themselves. The Council's age of unchallenged authority had ended. The human age had begun.